Yeah, let's do the radar tricks because they like performing for you guys. So it's so difficult to moderate this. There's so many weirdos. Okay.
Come on.
Bye bye.
I want to
You
see.
can't see all the comments. If you just came to see the kids, that's weird. So you should probably leave.
Okay, you guys, welcome back to my channel Behind the Screen. So, yeah, if you saw the first few seconds of this video, you probably did. You can just buckle up for this one. It's crazy because we're going to be talking about a family channel that one of you guys sent in to me, where it's a family pole dancing channel. When you thought you've seen it all on YouTube, right? Yeah, almost hard to believe, but it's very true. This family is just, the mom and dad obviously are just, it's exploitation to a whole other level because we all know that there's a lot of creeps on YouTube and people want to be like, oh, you know, for these family channels, they're not doing anything harmful or wrong. They're just doing cute little family stuff. Well, this family is making videos of their underage daughters who in these videos are 7, 8, 9, 10. They're young, pole dancing. So I'd love to see any type of people coming to bat for them in my comments, what they're going to say, because what can you really say other than these parents are absolutely vile and disgusting. So like I said, buckle up and let's get right into this video. So like I said, this is a family pole dancing channel. The mom and dad's name are Jake and Lindsay. They have 3 children. They have a son who's older and then 2 girls. I'm not sure about the ages, but in the videos you're going to see they're young. They're definitely, you know, in some videos that go back a few years, I'd say between 7 to 9. They might be around 10 to 12 now, somewhere in that age range, I would say. Jake and Lindsay make it very clear that they want more subscribers. They also want a reality TV show, and they're upset about the fact that they don't have one. We're gonna get into all that, but first let's just take a look at their channel, and then we're gonna watch a little interview with them from the Truly channel on YouTube just to kind of get an idea about who Jake and Lindsay are and what kind of disgustoids we're dealing with here. Okay, so here we have the Pole family, and they have 13.5 thousand subscribers, 355 videos. They've been trying to get YouTube famous by exploiting the heck out of their daughters and their son for 6 years now. Their bio says, we do pole fitness dance and aerial together as a family. They were featured on Truly, the Tamara Hall Show, Today Show Australia, This Morning UK, NBC, Yahoo, all different things. Super proud about that one. They have a wish list. Who knows what's on that wish list? Don't want to know. But yeah, you can see they have over 1 million views, close to 2 million views actually. And if you look at their most popular videos, as you can see, wasn't kidding here. Their most popular video says pole dancing kids front yard pole time with the Pole family, and it's their daughter who looks to be under 10 pole dancing in their front yard. You go through, they're at it again, pole tricks, not clickbait. What's Lindsay and Jake, what's your motivation here? Because a big thing you're going to see is them saying, "Oh, don't make this something that it's not. This is a sport. This is teaching them, you know, whatever, getting their core strength and doing all the exercises, whatever." Then why are you making a title saying that they're at it again with your 2 girls who are under 10 years old, pole dancing, saying not clickbait, pole tricks with your kids? And then, yeah, as you can see, most of the thumbnails are the 2 little girls pole dancing, whether it's at their house, in their yard, because they have poles everywhere. I mean, the mom must literally stuff a pole to go in her purse or somewhere else. Don't know, but either way, they actually bought, believe it or not, they bought one of those little adorable, cute white churches, steeple type churches, and turned it into a pole sanctuary. And they pole dance there. So yeah, going through, the girls have their legs spread, pole dancing. You know, it's sick to talk like that, but that's literally what is happening. Look, a typical afternoon at our church. Pole dancing. Yeah, I have it blurred out, but these thumbnails are absolutely disgusting. I actually wonder if Jonathan Jolie is getting some ideas, because if you take a look at his channel lately, lots of not a pole yet, but don't let him know about this because he'll go out and buy one. But anyway, yeah, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting that this is allowed, and that both of the parents are so okay with this. It's beyond me. Okay, so unfortunately, I had to refilm the second half of this video. You'll see I'm in a different shirt. Whenever I was going to edit the video, I noticed the second half, the volume was not working, which is very unfortunate, and that's why I'm in a different shirt. Yeah, I don't have nearly as much makeup on. It's pretty late, actually, but I know I want to get this video up for you guys on Monday, so that means I have to film right now. So I'm going to be, unfortunately, reacting to this a second time, so I've already seen it, but that's okay. We're gonna make this work. And the reason it didn't work in the first place is because I started using AirPods, which are great, but for whatever reason, whenever I go to record, it always messes up the setting. So I'm just going back to the old tried and true. This always works for me. Like I was getting into this family, I think about 5 or 6 years ago, went on to Truly, which I think used to be Barcroft TV. I'm not 100% sure. And they basically just did a little interview where the camera crew came into their house and they were talking about their lifestyle. So I thought this would be the perfect introduction to the Pohl family because this is going to be them on their best behavior, having people coming in, interviewing them. Maybe we'll understand a little bit more about why they're doing what they're doing. We'll see. We'll see.
The reason why we decided to perform as a family is because
I'm trying to find a decent pause that's not going to be
together.
Okay, what I was gonna say, because you're gonna see, imagine you are a kid, or even now if you're an adult, and your parents are just pole dancing in these tight little skimpy shorts that look like underwear or a Speedo in your living room, in your backyard, wherever. I mean, that I feel like in and of itself would be very traumatic for many people.
We've had a lot of different reactions from people coming in and saying,
So yeah, that's Jake and Lindsay for you. And this was about 5 or 6 years ago. Lindsay now has shorter pink hair, but still gives you an idea of who we're going to be talking about since you've only really seen pictures. I don't know if it's because I just watched the Ruby Frankie documentary on Hulu and I have so many thoughts on that, I'll be talking about those coming up soon on my podcast with Sasha. But anyway, the way that Kevin was, trying to make himself out to be the victim and this and that, no. He's a small, spineless, coward, pathetic excuse for a man. And I don't know, maybe I'm just like still feeling all of that. And I feel like now I'm just thinking that Jake is the exact same. Obviously, not the exact. We're not talking about a Ruby Frankie situation at all. But what dad, like truly, or mom, but right now we're going to focus on the dad. What dad wants this for his daughters to have them pole dancing at 3 years old? Because I think that's whenever they had their kids starting. I feel like if you look up, pathetic excuse for a father in the dictionary, you're going to have Kevin Frankie in there and you're going to have Jake Knight in there. Just gonna say that. And then obviously Lindsay, super pathetic. Just the parents in general would want this, but the reason I was extra picking on Jake, it's because I feel like one of the parents you would hope would be like, no, this is wrong. No, this is wrong. And you would think since it's daughters learning how to pole dance, it would be the dad being like, no, absolutely not. But no, Jake's all on board with this. This is so gross.
We're gonna flex and point.
we've had an exterminator come over and he's like, what's that for? He said, just holding up the ceiling? I'm like, no, it's an exercise pole, it's a dance pole. He's like, does your wife dance? He's like, well, we all dance. And that's kind of like where you get them. They're just like,
yeah,
oh.
That's the point. That's the point where they become intrigued.
Is it intrigued or judging you hard? Because that's what I would be doing, 100%. I'd be judging you hard. I mean, imagine you walk into someone's house and they have a stripper pole in the living room and little kids, toys over here, the stripper pole over here. Maybe one of the kids is on the pole.
My background is in dance. I got my degree in dance. I started pole dancing because I was going through a divorce and I really needed something to, spark my creative, artistic nature. So I went to a club and I saw a dancer on stage and I said, I really want to try this.
I was seeing a little bit too much of Jake there. Emphasis on little.
I was a former gymnast. I had been in theater, so I was always acting. I was always performing. I started pole dancing when I was around 21, 22 years old as an exotic dancer. As sit as I can get.
I thought exotic dancers were supposed to be hot. I don't know. I mean, I try to be nice on this channel, but they don't deserve my niceness.
Came along and showed me up a lot, and then I had to start bringing my game up, so.
He's like, no way. No, I think you should do it.
I haven't done a single trick to you yet. Whatever. No, it's not whatever.
First, we didn't pole dance together, and after we had our first child together, our daughter Laura, we bought a pole and I started teaching classes. And
Oh, and that's something that I'm sorry on the angle I paused it. I'm not even going to blur it because there aren't any kids here. But their son, who you're going to see in this video, they do mention in a very recent live YouTube video that he's an adult now, I believe, and he chooses to live with his dad. I wonder why. I wonder why.
that's when I really started discovering my love for competitive pole dancing and for just performing on the pole outside of a club. We've done performances where we're both on the pole. We'll do doubles. It was really refreshing, and being able to do it with a partner and then adding our kids into the aspect was amazing.
Because that's normal. You know, I guess if you want to learn how to pole dance, do your thing. But why are you teaching your children how to pole dance? And you're going to see they're going to say it's for, like I've already said, I think in the video, for exercise and all of that. No. There's enough other ways for children to exercise and burn off their energy than pole dancing. I think there's some middle ground we can find. Gymnastics, dance class, soccer, baseball. I think we can just leave the pole to the adults.
I was pole dancing when I was pregnant with both of the girls, and
That is pregnant and pole dancing, because that's okay. Good for her, I guess. But why did you bring your children into all of this? That's the big question.
that when they were born, they felt that they were already a part of that art.
Yeah. So she pole danced while she was pregnant and thought that her unborn baby had a connection to what she was doing. And so instead of again putting your baby in, mommy and me classes, you bring out the pole and teach your, because I think in this video they talk about how I think as young as 3, they were teaching their children how to pole dance.
As parents, you're scared at first, but at the same time, you're there, you're right there. You're really proud of them because they're doing these things.
Truly, if that was my dad, I would have run away. I really would have. I mean, having to see my dad in that sort of thing, those tight little, essentially Speedo, I would have been, yeah, I don't, I don't know what to say. Imagine these poor kids.
Most of the time, you see adults having trouble doing. It's really cool, to see your kids take after you when you really don't even, push them.
You really don't even push them, because all kids come out of the womb wanting to learn how to pole dance. They're doing it because you push it on them, Jake and Lindsay. Don't fool yourself on that one.
I would like for you to meet Rosalind. She is our 3-year-old who pole dances, and she's also our little ginger daredevil.
Oh, right. So in this video, she's 3. They didn't start whenever she was 3. She's already 3. So I don't know when they started teaching them to pole dance. That's lovely. Something to note here, and I've seen in a lot of live streams, Lindsay will say, "We don't get hurt. We don't get hurt." And the person who actually said, "You know who you are." We've been chatting today actually quite a bit on Instagram, and I very much appreciate you. So thank you. But anyway, one of the things that this person was talking about was that who suggested this family to me is that they never have mats out ever, and they have their kids up really high doing on the pole and other different acrobatic things with without any sort of safety mat on the floor. And they say, "Oh, we've never gotten hurt." Okay, right here, whenever the camera crew is there, the kid falls on hardwood floor and you can hear it. You can hear a really loud thump. But of course, they never get hurt though. Okay. It's like if you're going to have this sort of setup in your home, which I feel like, is no one except for them. But if you're going to, at least have some safety mats down, and also don't film it for people.
We pole dance every day, if not more. So I dance at work, obviously, and then the kids dance when I'm not here, and they also dance when I'm here.
Hey, choose a costume. Pick out your costumes.
I pole dance Almost all the time. Basically, whenever I get home, sometimes I just jump onto the pole, do a few tricks, jump off, do my normal thing. I actually do want to compete in pole dancing whenever I'm older, so that way it can be like a family tradition to compete.
I'm curious since now he is an adult, I believe, at least what they said live stream, if he feels this way still, being that it seems like with what they're saying, he chose to live with his dad and he's never in the videos anymore. So I think once he realized what was going on, I mean, it's an assumption, but it's almost like he doesn't exist anymore in the Pole family. And if he was at one point thinking about wanting to have this be more of a long-term thing, and of course he was a child here, but it would I would assume, I think it's safe to assume that he changed his mind.
We feel that pole dancing is a sport for kids as well as adults because it's very dance heavy and it's also very gymnastics heavy.
Nah, you can just do gymnastics and dance. You don't have to do pole dancing. Your kids can just do gymnastics and dance and still be very well-rounded in that area if that's what their interest is. You don't have to have them pole dancing and going to PoleCon International. Curious who's in the audience at this PoleCon International. Sure, some family and friends, but who's in the back row? Who's sneaking in? Who's there without any family or friends? That's who I'd be curious to know.
Be strong, you have to be graceful.
I think that the benefits for kids in pole dance is that it builds discipline, but it also builds interest in more than one art form at a time.
10 years ago, you would say, okay, pole dancing is stripping. And now pole dancing is anything you want it to be.
Nah, to me, whenever I hear the term pole dancing, the word pole dancing, I think of strippers. Maybe I'm the square here, but I still think of strippers with pole dancing. I think that's pretty, yeah, that's what I think of.
It could be stripping, it could be burlesque, it could be sport. I mean, they have competitions all over the world. They have conventions.
We have dealt with a lot
So many.
of negative comments. So many, I mean, I can't even count. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands.
You can't save.
Wonder why. Yeah, you deserve every single one of those rude, mean, nasty comments that you're getting from people who are judging you. I mean, look at this right now. It's the mom, dad, and the kid at PoleCon International pole dancing together. The parents literally at this angle look naked because they're in flesh-colored Speedos and underwear and bathing suits. I don't know. It's so wrong. People in the audience taking video and pictures. Why would you want this? Can you imagine? Why would you want to be filming some family doing this? You need to get your head checked if that's you.
Or explain to everybody that this is legitimate, like it's a legitimate sport. And a lot of people, you just can't change their opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we heard some pretty horrific things. They were going to hunt us down, kill us, and
kill
take our
us.
children.
Obviously, they don't deserve death threats, but all the judgment that they're getting from people, and I think they're going to be getting more as their channel grows because it is growing. They're going to get more judgment, and they probably honestly feed off of it. They love the attention. They just love it. They love the attention. So, I mean, you'd have to though. You'd have to be doing this sort of stuff.
We were teaching our children how to be little sluts. I mean, like, it was pretty bad.
Dancing on stage and doing skits.
Because you guys did such a good job.
I'm so proud of you.
High
High five.
I actually pity them
It's becoming an
more than I
epidemic.
pity anybody that has to deal with it. I don't think that they have enough time on their hands to actually enjoy their own life. So we enjoy ours.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, Jake, we know. We know. Sorry, not sorry. You pathetic, disgusting little, like, gremlin. Ugh.
We're living our most authentic life.
And again, like I said in the video, they have literally a pole in their backyard. And they have neighbors. Imagine looking over at your neighbor's house and they have a stripper pole in their yard. And they're on it, their kids are on it. I'm also curious how, these kids, whenever they're in school, how that works. Because I feel like most parents would feel really uncomfortable having their children go over to these kids' houses for play dates whenever there's stripper poles in the living room, in the backyard, the dad's dressed like that. I would just say no, no kids, not going over there, never ever, period.
Sometimes people just don't like that. They just want you to be like everybody else.
Okay, so I had to cut out this little part because there was an issue with copyright, but basically they were talking about how stripping is becoming obsolete, it's in danger of being gone altogether, and they also talk about how they get a lot of hate for what they do, but all that's done is make them more protective, which you're going to hear my thoughts on that in just a second, so bear with me.
What a joke. What an absolute joke. He's saying it makes them more protective because of what's going on, about all the haters. We're going to get into how he's an absolute liar in a little bit here. I mean, obviously, the type of content they're putting out, he's lying, but we're going to get into it more in a little bit that he's really putting this out on a silver platter and doesn't care at all.
Where we see our kids in the future with pole dance, I just want them to enjoy the art. They're going to do whatever they decide to become with passion.
So yeah, that was the Truly video. So you guys, have some insight. I feel like my mind was not changed. I'm still judging them hardcore for it. So yeah, anyway, wanted to go to their TikTok, and they also have, around the same amount of followers on TikTok. But I wanted to show you guys this video because they say it's the facts of being pioneers in any industry. Because they're going to talk about some of the negative experiences that they've had to go through being pioneers in the pole industry for children. Let's go into it. And this video is from a year ago or so, almost 2 years ago now. So they're going to be obviously telling us how they raised awareness for pole dancing. And my thing is, not everything needs awareness brought to it. Not everything needs to be normalized. Kids learning how to pole dance does not need to be a thing. It doesn't need to be normalized. No awareness needs to be spread. The only awareness that needs to be spread is getting this family off the internet. That's it. I'm going to be pausing this a lot because I don't want to get, struck for the song being on in the background, but something to be proud of. We're one of the very first families in pole to go viral. I wonder why. And Jake and Lindsay, I'm wondering if you realize, and the thing is, you do realize this, and I know this for a fact because you do live streams all the time of your little girls pole dancing. And Jake, you literally have to be the moderator for it and go in and delete CREEPS comments talking about your daughter's bodies and just really disgusting things. And you have to be in there constantly deleting CREEPS, but yet you keep doing this kind of stuff. But yeah, something tells me whenever you're going viral that a big majority is a lot of creepy men out there watching your daughters. So be proud though that you're one of the very first families to go viral and pole dancing. Not sure there actually are many families that are doing this, so good job. Congratulations.
A ton of hate in order to promote and raise awareness.
Yeah, obviously you're gonna take a lot of hate and you're gonna see Jake always going fact, fact, fact. What a loser. Like an absolute disgusting, scummy loser.
Fact.
So they're saying that on all of their television appearances they are on, or 99% of them at least, they were on a bunch of them. I think even like Tamron Hall, that they weren't paid to go on there. Okay, well, Lindsay, that was your fault. If you wanted to get paid, you should have negotiated better. But the whole entire reason that you went on there was to get more exposure, which is what you got. So get over it. So this is a big thing too you're going to hear. They're going to talk about how they don't have many followers still. They have about, I think, 13,500 followers on YouTube and about 10,000 or so on TikTok. But whenever I was watching one of their live videos, they did say, and this wasn't from that long ago, that they took a break at some point in the last couple of years. And whenever they took that break, they had 2,000. And then whenever they came back and started doing videos, they're up to like 13 or some thousand now. So if that's the case, they are growing rather quickly now all of a sudden. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to figure out why they're growing though. Again, with the type of content that they're making, literally putting out disgusting content for I think you have to call them, without getting struck, Plutos, if I'm not mistaken, pedos, Plutos, I don't know. Literally making curated content for these creeps on a silver platter. So
TV shows.
Dope.
yeah, so this is something else that they're going to be, complaining about. They were offered to be on 2 different reality TV shows and they fell through. Well, should we really be that surprised that these type of just total scum of the earth would want to be on reality TV and put their kids through that with everything we know? The Duggars, what's the show? Not 19 Kids and Counting was the Duggars. John and Kate plus 8, Little Who Big World, all the things that these kids who are now adults have talked about and experienced from reality TV, but yet they want to go put their kids on there, especially in this type of way. But we shouldn't be that surprised. They don't care about their kids. They just don't.
Pioneers in an industry that is new and,
What is?
people still don't understand it. So, fact. 6. We will continue raising awareness and making videos of kids and families in Pole, and maybe even have a reality TV show in the future. And we have zero intention of ever stopping.
No stop.
So keep watching.
Yeah, they have zero intention of ever stopping. They have their daughter in a split doing twirling on a pole, and they have zero intention of ever stopping. And they made sure to have Jake on the one side, Lindsay on the other side, the pole in the middle, their daughter doing the tricks on the pole. They did that for a reason. And you can see the comments are actually like pretty supportive. It's because they delete comments like crazy, like crazy. But yeah, going through their TikTok, they have, like I said, 10,500 TikTok followers. Someone that they post with kind of frequently is Abby Lee Miller. They do Zoom classes with her. They must take some classes at her dance company, which I didn't even think was around still. But why are we surprised that they want to be associated with someone like Abby Lee Miller, someone who so many people who were a part of the TV show have come forward and said that Abby Lee Miller, the TV show in general, really affected them throughout their life, and have caused a lot of problems. She's a very, very toxic woman, and yet they want to be associated with her. So makes sense. But yeah, if you go through on TikTok, so many of the thumbnails for the TikToks are the girls on the poles doing the tricks. They also have some super, like, just the kind of ones where, like, you make the thumbnail on these things, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, you're the one that chooses what is the thumbnail going to be. And if you go over to this one right here, which I'll have blurred, but the little girl has a microphone right up to her mouth with her mouth open, her tongue out. So again, they pick these for a reason. They're creating content specifically for, not gonna say the word. What can we say? I think I can say pedo, Plutos. Yeah, that's what they're doing though. And it's very clear whenever these thumbnails are the ones that they're picking, who they're picking them for. Here's another super inappropriate one. The daughters are on both sides of the poles. The mom's legs are completely spread apart. Tight shorts on. Yeah, this one right here. When the haters tell us we shouldn't be polling together, and all three of the women, or not women, 2 little girls and their mom are on the pole together. Okay, so I wanted to go through some comments that have not been deleted that are weird. They're creepy. As I said before, they do delete a ton of comments, so they're getting really, really pervy, gross comments. But I do have some that were not deleted that, you know, they're pretty gross. Will Dill, a man, says, thanks, YouTube, I guess. Wonder what he's thanking YouTube for. It's the kids on the pole. This person, again, a Joe, so another man. It's a little family affair, quote, workout practices, sweet, wink face. And the mom or dad, one of them said, no, just practice, lol. Yeah, that's not what Joe's thinking. This person, Mark Nagel. The young girl on the pole must be practicing for her career. This person, which I had to translate to English because it was a different language, said, Smart girl, my favorite girl, my little princess, kind, sweet, good, beloved, gentle, affectionate, kind, caring girl. My little baby, look, don't fall. This person is going back and forth with them, but one of the things that they did say is, well, first, the Poll family, one of either the mom or dad said, we don't engage in these type of discussions. It's not appropriate for the channel. I think it was a political type of comment. But then the person said, neither is putting your young daughters on polls. I would thank you for understanding, but you have them on polls, dot, dot, dot. And either the mom or dad said to each their own. You say inappropriate, we say fitness. Okay, so I'm not going to play this video, but I wanted to just kind of talk about, we went over some comments that, were not deleted, but apparently they go live quite a bit on their YouTube channel, and Jake moderates, and he is constantly in there deleting. Lindsay's like, Jake, are you here? Jake, did you see this comment? It's bad. They're getting a lot of creepy, weird comments. So whenever I was going back through the live chat, I actually couldn't really see any of the things because they're deleted. The people are blocked from their channel. But one thing I did see was someone saying that they wanted to kidnap you. They said, I want to kidnap them, or it was something like that. Really, really, really disturbing. Also, there was a clip you saw in the beginning where, her daughter's reading the comments, and then she's like, oh, no, 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 you can't read this. You can't read this. Because she knows that it's really pervy comments, and whenever they're coming in on live, you can't delete them right away. They're gonna pop up first, and she didn't want her daughter to read those. Okay, great, your daughter shouldn't be reading them, but you shouldn't also be doing a live stream with your daughter, both daughters, on a poll. And in these live chats, she'll get questions like, oh, can you zoom in? Can you do close-ups? And she does say, we don't do close-ups. But she knows why that they're asking for the close-ups. So she has the wherewithal to say no, but she doesn't whenever it comes to making these videos in the first place. It makes zero sense. But something else we're going to talk about is this little pink car. And they made a whole video that they got this car for their kids. But here's the thing, the car isn't just for the kids. Yeah, Lindsay does a lot of her own content too. Here's her YouTube channel. She has 14,000 subscribers. She does suggestive content, I guess you could say. And you can see in this one right here, driving my new Lambo in heels. And this is the same Lambo that she got for her kids. And if you look at the thumbnail, she is completely spread, sitting in the car with her heels on. I'm going to throw in some other screenshots of Lindsay, again, creating different types of content that is very suggestive in the same room that she's filming the family content. So it's very gross. She's blurring the lines. She's saying, "Oh, pole dancing is a sport. It's a sport for my kids." But then she's also making this type of content that's suggestive. The suggestive content that she's making, she doesn't really seem to talk about it on the family channel. And even whenever I was watching one of the live chats, someone mentioned, do you have an OF? And she said, I don't talk about that here. No, don't. It's like, you can't talk about that here type of thing. It does appear at one point, whoops. It does appear at one point Lindsay did have an OnlyFans. Not 100% sure if she still does. Again, not going to get into the whole OnlyFans things. Should you, shouldn't, whatever. I guess if you're an adult, do what you got to do. But again, it really is the whole blurring the lines thing where she has these family content and she's trying to break the stigma of pole dancing and having kids doing pole dancing, but then she's making content and putting content out there that is super suggestive. And what is it? Are you wanting to have the adult model lifestyle or the family channel lifestyle? I feel like you can't have both. In fact, the person that I was going back and forth with about this video had that conversation. You can't have both things. It's one or the other. Whenever you have children involved, you can't go and mix it. That's maybe not everyone's going to agree with that, but that's how I feel. Okay, so anyway, that was a bit of a deep dive into the Poll family. First off, I really want to thank the person who gave me certain receipts and things like that and suggested the video in the first place. Super helpful. If you guys ever have anyone that you want me to check out, feel free to let me know in the comments. You can always email me, whatever. I'm happy to cover channels of all sizes. But yeah, this one was super crazy. Whenever I first saw it, the suggestion, I was like, this cannot be real. Like this is not real. Parents would not ever do this sort of thing. So actually clicking into it, and then the more I found out, the more sick to my stomach that I was getting, because this is beyond family channel exploitation. This is a whole other darker, deeper level that I've never seen before, and I don't think we have seen before online, and that this is okay, that this isn't being taken down or flagged is really, really scary. And what's even more disturbing is that they are getting these type of weird, pervy comments and they don't care. They'll delete them to try to, keep up and make it look like they have this, cute little channel that they're trying to make into, I don't know, make into a sport, whenever really it's just a bunch of pervy men commenting disgusting things about these little girls. I'm glad the son was able to, get out of this before they blew up. But I really feel for these little girls because they just have no idea what's going on. Whenever I was watching the live and they were reading comments and they were just so sweet and they were so nice. They were talking to people in the chat and they're like, "Oh, thank you for saying my food's yummy." My heart broke because they have no idea who's lurking in these chats watching them, who's lurking in the comment section, who's watching them do these poll thing. They're just thinking it's just a fun time with mom and dad, but it's not. We all know that, including Jake and Lindsay, who should be ashamed. And something tells me they're going to see this video because no one's covered them yet. And I really hope that more channels do cover them. I hope channels that are bigger than mine cover them. They need to be called out and they need to be taken offline. There's no coming back from what they're doing. It's as wrong as it gets. But anyway, you guys, thanks for, sticking around, for watching. I'm going to link the Reddit account that has a lot of information. Let's start talking more about this family so we can get them offline. This is what needs to get done. They need to be taken offline. If you agree with me, make sure you share this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. The more eyes that see this, the more engagement this video gets, the more people are going to know about it. And that's what we need to do. Because at the end of the day, Jake and Lindsay, unfortunately, are not going to see the light here. They don't care. They want to be on reality TV. They're buddy with Abby Lee Miller. They want to go on all the talk shows. They just don't care. So the only way to really move the needle on this is to hopefully YouTube just says, no, this content's actually wrong. This should be flagged. Like, absolutely not. So let's get this going. Let's be advocates for these little girls since clearly their parents have failed. Failed miserably at the only job they had, which was protecting their children. Anyway, guys, thanks again. And I will see you guys in my next video.